Okay, we have a problem with our boiler today, and it turns out that the problem is the thermocouple. The thermocouple will need to be replaced on this 30-year-old Peerless boiler. Not a big job, definitely a do-it-yourself job. So we're going to pull off these covers, pull off the top cover, put that aside. Front cover comes straight up, pull that off, no problem. I've already pulled out the shield that goes in the front, that goes up inside here, that protects the flame. Okay, pull that out. That's all set. And our thermocouple is that piece right inside there, that piece that's sticking up. And one end of that is on that end. The other end is up here on the gas valve. Okay, this is a simple repair. The main thing you want to do is make sure that you shut off your power and shut off your gas. Okay, so those two things are done. And then this doesn't really matter whether this is on or off right now. It happens to be off. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to use a 3/8 wrench. Take off this end here. I'm going to get up under here. And we're going to have to replace it on here too. Now, I believe I can pull out the actual tube that has that containing part on it. So I can make this easier instead of having to reach in there. I think I can pull that right out of there from where it sits. So I'm going to go ahead and get that situated. I'll be right back. Now here's a better view of that thermocouple. This is the piece here. Everything's cold. You want to make sure everything's cold before you touch it because it will be hot if it's not. But the reason you're usually changing the thermocouple is because your burner went out. And when you go to light the pilot, it doesn't stay lit. So these tubes come out for cleaning. And so I can pull this tube out a bit. And I'm going to disconnect it here at the gas valve as well, so I can get an easier job to replace the thermocouple without bending this tubing. We don't want to bend that. Okay, so I've used a 1/2 inch open-end wrench to take off this flare nut. This is the flare for the actual gas supply. And on this side, it's a 3/8, and it shouldn't be too tight. I've already cracked it loose. It really wasn't that tight. And I'm just taking off this flare nut on the thermocouple side. This will fall loose, okay? And then we pull this tube gently. You don't want to break anything. The tube comes down. Now this thermocouple is going to be thrown away, so this one I don't care about. But it's this gas supply tube I want to be really careful of. So this tube can come right out, where I can work on this right up here, or I can put it in my vise, which I think I will do. You can see on this side here, there's your thermocouple. This is the part we're going to replace. And there's your actual pilot supply, where you'll see the flame when you go to use your boiler. All right, we're going to set this up in the vise to make it a little easier. Okay, so I've hooked this up to my vise. And what this has to happen here is this piece is going to come off. The bracket will stay stationary. This is the burner tube. You can see the slots inside the burner. That's where your flames come out. And I'll clean that up a little bit with a wire brush before I put it back in. So we're just going to take this piece. This actually can come off anytime. This is just the other end of that tube. Okay, this is for the thermocouple itself. This is the thermocouple. Okay, now let's see if we can get this piece out of here, or I have to take the whole thing out. I don't know yet. But because I'm not going to use this again, it doesn't really matter what I do with it. Okay, that pulled right out. Okay, and there's the thermocouple. Not much to it. And we're going to take and open our new pack. We went to Lowe's. It was an $11.28 piece. Okay, we're going to insert the new one. Okay, here's our replacement part. This one's a 24-inch thermocouple. And this will be plenty of length for what I need. Now this particular one says that it's for large gas furnaces and water heaters with a 30 millivolt output. Hopefully that's what I have, and hopefully that's what I need. If not, well, we'll be going back to get something else. So we're going to install this and see what happens. Okay, the way the new one comes along here, the way it goes together, is there's a small tightening sleeve inside of here. And then this sleeve goes over the top with this flange edge, so it'll catch the edge so it won't go too far in. And what you want to do here is you want to just screw it in by hand the best you can. There's no need to use a wrench on anything until you get down to the end. And even when you do get down to the end, you really just want to make sure that you're just tightening it hand tight. Okay, I managed to finagle the burner tube back in place. You can see the thermocouple. There's the new thermocouple right here, and the old burner tube there. And when you go back to, in this case, I did disconnect the gas supply. You want to make sure you finger tight this. Just even if you have to wiggle it, do not start this with a wrench no matter what, because you're talking about something very soft, brass, going into something even softer, pot metal. So again, same thing here. You don't want to kink this tube. You want to make sure this tube is relatively straight. Don't let it have any sharp bends. It can. And you want to make sure that you turn all by hand wherever possible. And why take a chance? If you strip this out, you might not even be able to get a new one. So better off to just do what you got to do. Take your time and take it easy. Okay, so everything's clear. I'm just going to finish tightening everything up. I'm going to go ahead and light it and see how it works. Okay, I got my flame working back there. It's doing its thing. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this protector back on here. We don't need any problems. Okay, it goes right over the front of that. And we're safe to turn ahead. Go ahead and turn the burner. And we have flames. So it's not a hard job to do. It actually takes about 10 or 15 minutes. And anybody can do it with a little common sense and YouTube. Good luck and have a great day.